All right, Q&A is open. News says, what's the CR of, oh, let me actually introduce myself. Hey, this is Meps. I'm your community manager. This is an impromptu office hours / ask DCO following the Riddle with Crime live stream. Looking for your Riddle with Crime and related questions. Anything we might have missed on the stream. New is going to start us off with what is the CR of the new OP item and how is it obtained? It is obtained in the same way as OP items have been recently, with them being a collection that has a vendor component. Right? Am I right on that? Let me get back to you on that. I don't think it's changed there, but the CR is 200, I am told by my sheet of. So for comparison's sake, the vendor gear is 183. Jareth says, can we see elite alerts in the next episode? Not in this episode, not in Riddle with Crime. I think elites overall is something we want to look at and make more awesome and more rewarding and more hard. Elite raids, that is, and elite alerts would be something to look at in addition to, or as we were looking at that. No plans to do an elite alert right now. Right now the focus is on continuing raids. The Man-Bat trinket is, hang on. Let me check my note. OP hands are granted through collections that are found in the operation, the 4-player operation, and in the raid. There are also other cool collections, some that we did not show in the stream because they were a little bit broken. But keep an eye out, there's some really cool things. The Riddler Goon shirt is also a collection. The Man-Bat form change is from the regular raid. It's a collection that comes off the last 2 bosses. The Man-Bat Commando henchman / backup trinket is in the elite raid only, and it's it is literally a drop off the final boss. Rare change. All right, back to the questions. May not have been clear. We're looking for Riddle with Crime related questions after the live stream. Random other questions we're going to skip for now and hit those at a later time. And just get Riddle with Crime stuff out of the way. NC Mike says, what's the prices of the vendor gear? I don't have the prices with me. We are going to be reducing the costs compared to, for example, Age of Justice, to account for the shorter time window between this episode and the next one, because we only have that 2-month window instead of like the regular. With that, there will also not be as many pieces. Some of the non-visible gear pieces you're used to getting, we just simply won't include so that you don't have to chase those in between. That's one way for us to bring the cost down pretty easily. DST says, what style is the drop gear from 29? I should have that right here. Scaling gear for low-level people is Tech Ninja. That's not new. And the scaling gear at appropriate level is, or at least the purple rare version is, and that's for both factions. Everybody can get bloodbath. Orpath says, any chance of omnipotence items being obtained in a different way? Sure, we are definitely looking at feedback, and that's always open. It is not changing for this episode. Blonde Bombshell says, when will episode 29 be on test? It will be on test this evening, later today is the current plan. That could change, of course, test being test, but that. Agent L says, are we getting new weapon styles? Not in this episode. Lady Lightning says, will the gear of the new episode also be on instance vendors? The gear will be on a vendor. It won't be in the instance. I believe it will be out in Amusement Mile. Or I'm not understanding the question. Ask again, sorry. Will there be any new major events like Starro and the Antimatter in the future? Well, those two will definitely return, first of all. And we haven't ruled out making new major events. We just have transitioned away from having them in the cadence every other with an episode like we were kind of planning for. So there's definitely still a possibility there will be major events. We don't have any planned right now. Balthazar says, is there a League Hall size lion statue like we saw in the live stream? That's a good question. I don't know the answer to that. Also a good suggestion. If not, I'll make a note.
You belong to the Red Lantern Corps.
Light FX says, how many SP total in episode 29? I do not have a count for you, but it should be pretty much the same as other episodes. Light Fido says, any chance that we have another War Bonds weekend? Always a chance of that happening. Arathian says, will we ever see anything more from DLCs besides the expected? Besides the expected, such as new mechanics or systems. Well, we usually don't sell new mechanics or systems as a premium feature. Those usually launch for all, and that's definitely possible. I'd like to think we're going to surprise you a little bit with this DLC, but Mr. Owl's Revenge says, will we be able to trade or sell the Man-Bat trinket? That is a good question. I don't want to say the wrong thing, so I'll follow up on that and get an answer for you later. Ashy7 says they missed the gear level question. Vendor gear is 183, dropped gear caps at 181, but scales to you, just like kind of all of our recent dropped gear has, up to level 181. and the OP item is 200. So 181, 183. Fatal Star says, will the cap on stat bubbles increase? So you want more skill points. Will there be more skill points in this DLC? Good question. I do not. Making note of that also. Kuroki says, is the DLC content cross-faction? Operation is not, because operations are not. The rest of it should be cross-faction. The raid, the duos. Tropical Skittles says, will there be any animal drops since it is based on a zoo? Mostly just the base item stuff. You can't take home your own line or anything. Zoos kind of frown on that. A couple of questions about base pets. I don't have any information on that here. The new currency for episode 29 is called marked bills, as in counterfeit mark. Too Many Crits says, will the vendor gear drop down in price after you complete the whole set on a main character? Yes. Just like the other sets, once you complete it once, you unlock a feat. When you have that feat, buying your second set of gear for that character is reduced, or you can feat unlock that feat to other characters to get their first set. Seeing definitely the suggestion for League Hall items. Got it. I thought it was unmarked bills, not marked. I think it's marked bills. I'm pretty sure it is marked. I could be wrong though. All right, any more riddled with crime questions? A lot of these questions may be answered or make more sense once you play tonight on the test.
You belong to the Red Lantern Corps.
There are no legends in riddled with crime. Agent Al says, is Joker lending his voice for this DLC? We don't have any new Joker VO. Warpath asks, is there new gear or generator mods in this DLC? There's new gear. We went over that pretty in depth in the stream. We've also made a couple changes to mods. So basic plan is We'll have generator mods in the vendor this episode, but not equipment mods. We'll have equipment mods with episode 30, just to spread it out and require mods. We also have some consumable recipes and soda recipes that drop. NC Mike says, how many open world missions are there a day? I believe you can do 4 of the 9 dailies solos, and there's 2 weeklies, and there are bounties. Rathian asks about DLCs with systems and mechanics like Home Turf and Hand of Fate and Last Laugh. So with the way we separated out features from content, and we have episodes now instead of DLCs, we'll have episodes with content and we'll have other things roll out separately. For example, water released separately from an episode 2 days ago, that kind of thing. Jai4452 asks, when will we get this content? This content launches on the test server today, and its intended lands is the 20th of September. The free preview is intended to last about 1 month again. We don't have changes to how it works for members. You will then need to be the appropriate level and whatnot once the preview is over. DST asked about Damien being in the content, Damien Wayne. I don't know if he appears or not. I haven't seen him, but I'm not positive he's not somewhere. Blazing Evacuation asks, when is replay of live stream heading to YouTube? It's heading there right now. It's literally uploading right now. Light Fido has asked the same question 3 times, and yes, gear has been adjusted in terms of cost and amount to account for the smaller window of time that this episode will have before the next one. Final questions? Final riddled with crime question? If you have more questions or think of more questions later, hit up the forum thread with the development update and drop them in there. Should see them, be able to get. All right, that looks to be all the riddled with crime questions. So thank you all for stopping by. Thank you for joining the live stream. If you missed the live stream and want to watch it again, it'll be on YouTube shortly. And hit me on Twitter or hit me on the forums if you have additional questions, and we'll go from there.